Our guest for this hour, criminal defense attorney and former patrol officer Michael Huff. Michael, great to see you. Thank you so much for joining us. Let's ask about that same issue, the judge allowing a witness to testify after they admitted, which is the right thing to do, that they had watched some of the coverage. Do you think it was the right decision by the judge?
That's a tough one. First of all, it's great to see you both. Again, thank you. That's definitely a tough one. I think that, on appeal, as Judge pointed out, they're going to look at whether the probative value really significantly outweighed the prejudicial effect potentially to the defendant. If I had to make the call, I think that when you have an outright admission that the exclusionary rule was violated, then you've got to really have a probative value that's significant to allow that witness to testify. So I think that if anything turns on appeal, we're looking at that 404.
Yeah, I think you're right. All right, Huff, I have to ask you this because it's something else that stands out to me and a lot of our viewers, and that is Lori's demeanor. And so she only cried once that we know of, and Shanley's watching all of it when they're in the courtroom, and she often is smiling or, seen very upbeat. How, as an attorney, do you deal with a client when they're facing 3 murder charges, 2 for their children, deal with a client to convey and try to get a client to follow your advice and act maybe a little more contritely for the jury?
Right. I mean, I generally try to stay away from coaching my clients, but giving them the general advice that having demeanor and emotional expressions that are consistent with sadness in the event that your children have been discovered, right? And you're claiming innocence, that your children have been discovered on your property, murdered. Being upbeat, as we see, the smiling and just really a total disregard. It's completely opposite of what one would expect for a mother who we would all expect to be in mourning.
Yeah, this case, I mean, honestly, it's ups and downs, Michael, and all the different evidence that's being presented at this point anyways. I think that it feels like, to me, prosecution is ahead at this moment.
Oh, they're ahead on points, and I think a TKO is right around the corner. But I do want to say this about Lori Vallow. We've seen throughout, even going back to the day the police confronted her after the death of Charles, there's smiles. And I think maybe she's someone who smiles when she's nervous. The other part of this is also that I think she's still firmly lodged in the belief that what she's doing is based on some religious teachings, and she will be with her family again. And as she told her son, you will understand at some later time. I think she just has a whole different understanding of all the events that have happened. And if I'm a defense attorney, I'm not so mad at that. And I agree with Huff. I think at the end of the day, you don't want to coach them too much so that they seem unnatural.
Well, that's true. They have to be authentic. But this authentic may be hurting her in front of the jury. We don't know. Huff, thank you for staying with us. You're going to continue to offer your expertise. Coming up next, we have some breaking news in the case against actor Alec Baldwin. Oh, boy, don't want to miss this. Stay tuned. We're going to bring you all of the latest.
Tonight on Closing Arguments, another dramatic day of testimony in the Doomsday Cult Mom murder.